Greetings fellow chasers, Daikokuten is here, and today's video is a bit different than the usual. What you're seeing right now is the Grand Chase Dimensional Chaser Iceberg. If you're not familiar in what an iceberg is, it's basically some kind of a meme template that explains what is known and less known to the public about a certain topic. Let's say the top of the iceberg is the more known stuff that everybody knows and is much more public, and the more we go downwards, the more unknown the information is. And now we're going to explain every single thing in this iceberg. It's going to be a very interesting video. I really recommend you staying till the end because we are going to talk about some interesting stuff down there. So let's start with the top. Abandoned social media. There are many multiple YouTube and Facebook accounts in different languages that were abandoned. Uno, Duel and Dekane announcement. Alongside with Sardine and Canavan, Duel and Dekane have been announced to become SRs in the future, but that never happened. Uno wasn't directly announced, but in Grand Chase Dimensional Chaser's launch, COG stated that every playable unit from Grand Chase PC will become SR in the sequel game. Pre-2021 QOL. It's the most recent one. We used to have Prana, Shinies, Chaser Dungeon, Daily Defense, Annihilation, Wizard Labyrinth was different, and etc. Character Black Shoelace Glitch, a bug that may occur in Grand Chase Dimensional Chaser home menu till this very day. In this bug, you would see the character in front having its shoelace appear completely black. Wi-Fi soft lock. The game is very sensitive when it comes to internet connection, especially Wi-Fi. Game might enter the softlock state. An infinite loading circle animation if trying to navigate the UI. You must restart the game if you get a softlock. KR exclusive events. Some events that only KR servers got, such as Golden Box 2 and Holiday Buffs. Tier 2. Frame rate affects DPS. Literally. If you have a low FPS, the DPS will get lower as well. B rank heroes. Some of the current A ranks of today used to be B ranks in the past. They all got promoted to A ranks, abandoning the existence of the B rank altogether. In the collection section in the book, there's a collection called It's No Longer a B. All the units that used to be B rank are present over there. Official memes. English Facebook page used to post occasional memes long time ago. A notable meme event is one that forced players to put this picture in the profile picture. Forbidden languages in chat. For whatever reason in-game chat won't let you write specific characters, for example Polish. Change of development team. By the announcement of Sardine and Canavan becoming SRs, the development team of Grand Chase Dimensional Chaser changed. Live PvP. An experimental system of actual live PvP between players that was in beta twice in-game but failed miserably. It worked like so. At the beginning each player got to pick 4 random characters for their party, not from their inventory, and then use them to fight. Everyone hated it. It was terrible for people with bad net and got completely cancelled. Character banners. Whenever a new character got released, they would get a banner just for themselves, similar to how Royal Summon works, but it would run on premium summon tickets. Apart from that, when an SR character had a birthday, for that whole day they will have the same type of banner that will disappear by the end of the day. Character review system. That one still exists till this very day. It's a system that lets one rate by stars any playable character. In the past, one could also write a comment on the character, but that got removed. Tier 3. Casting speed reduction. An old accessory stat that would reduce the time it takes to charge up skills with a loading bar before cast. There aren't many characters who utilize this, so that stat got changed to special skill cooldown reduction. Characters who used to utilize that loading bar are Gaian. Incorrect translations. There are a lot of mistranslation in the Grand Chase Dimensional Chaser global servers that never got fixed. Pause buffer strategy. A very rare glitch which is probably fixed right now and was extremely hard to pull off. The player would need to mash pause button with high precision. The main usage was for PvP. To explain it quickly, if you kill several enemy heroes very precisely at the same frame, Lime or Grandiel's statuses would be ignored and everyone will die. to a pre-registration glitch. During that pre-registration period, something happened to the servers, and for some time the web page was inaccessible. Instead of form where you could enter the code, you would see the error message. Negative gem balance. Your gems can go into negative range. Mostly that happens to people who are overusing game exploits or glitches. For example, several months ago, there was an event which lasted for several weeks, but because of a glitch, you could access all of it much quicker and basically repeat it when weeks are getting unlocked as intended. Those people who already spent all of the gems acquired this way got punished with everything they bought getting reverted, as well as gem balance becoming negative. A and S rank heroes are intentionally weakened. As it turns out, if you compare just basic damage of A, S and SR heroes with the same stats, A and S heroes will deal significantly less damage. That's based on research done by BMOS. Here's the video.
足手まといだ。お願いします。失敗しないでください。
Out of bounds glitch. There are some bosses or enemies who have the ability to disappear from the map. Sometimes, on rare occasions, such enemy can die while being in disappearance state. If that happens, camera will freak out and show the enemy dying animation in some weird out of bounds places. In-game timer is independent from lag or slowdowns. When you play content, when you're being time limited, timer will act independently from frame drops, lags, freezes, and even intentional game slowdowns which occur when you manually press a skill to see its description. So, if timer is set to 3 minutes, even if due to lags you played like 1.5 minutes, it will still count 3 in-game minutes and you will be in disadvantage. Tier 4. Old raid system. Now known as Epilogue. These dungeons used to provide the raid equipment craft materials and used to be called raid dungeons. Free merged servers. Now we have only 2 global servers, Asia and Western, but in the past we used to have much more than that. We had PH server, Japanese server, Taiwan server, North America server, Brazil server, and EU server. Sardine in Honor Shop glitch. In EU server, people were able to buy sardine before she should have been available yet. The shop didn't even have a proper icon, but it was fully functioning and people got an extra sardine. Mysterious placeholder. This thing. Hatred and destruction. 2 difficulties for Adventure Dungeon. Originally, every ward had 4 difficulties: normal, challenge, hatred, and destruction. It was like that up to Ward 6 before the ward system got reworked, leaving only 1 difficulty for each ward except the latest one that has 2. Jin's nerf. According to KR players, Jin was incredibly broken on release, so Koch decided to nerf him very quickly. Before that nerf, Jin could heal, his damage was way bigger along with bigger damage reduction his shields provided. His nerf took place before patch with his release got to other servers. That happened just before a new Japanese law was introduced which prohibited nerfs in gacha games, making Jin the only character who got directly nerfed like that. Clary Bible, an old board game-like minigame that used to be the only way to acquire Gaian and Arsad but later got removed. In this game you had to form 6 parties out of 4 characters. Each character had its own buff. You had to reach a certain spot in the board game and fight a boss with the party you formed. Old PvP arena. The arena in PvP mode used to look like this. Daikokuten Chase. An old event that presented 4 separated stories, each featured a different character. The story tells about the player as a character in-game and featured a character in a romantic genre. The stories featured Zero, Ronan, Amy, and Lime. At the end of each story, the player will receive a small profile picture icon of the respected character. Removed Amy's dance animation. Before Amy's huge buff, every time you pressed her skill, the dance animation played. During those animations, you couldn't move her or press other skills while fight is still going on. Those animations were removed with that buff, though nothing was said in patch notes about that. There's a way to see one of those animations even now. It's played in her likability episode 6. Old Sigurd Limit Break skin. Sigurd's Limit Break used to look like this. but when his chaser skill came out, it got reworked to the current one. Old Dimensional Chasing. Instead of menu, where you could choose difficulty and fight whoever you want among random 7 enemies, in each floor you would choose between 2 fights, and after success go to the next rank where you choose between next 2. Cancelled free Nelia. When Nelia was about to be released on global, it was an era when every time either new limit break to already existing character was released or new character in general, a small event would be released along the way, where by logging in the game for 4 days straight, you could get a free copy of said character. The same event was announced in patch notes of update with Nelia release. There was even a screenshot of it, but in the last possible moment, for unknown reason the event was first marked as crossed out, and later removed. Later when update actually dropped, it appeared that the event was scrapped altogether, thus global servers didn't got her for free. Tier 5. Old Pet System. Pets had their own BP stats. Upgrading pets influenced only their own BP, not hero who they're tied to. Immortal Alice's glitch. There were some instances in early to late 2019 when game could glitch and Alice's would be completely immortal due to some bugs in her passive. The closed beta test differences. Mari's 6-star avatar and Vegas's 6-star avatar. Let's Go event resets. There were instances when the Let's Go events got reset a bunch of times and players got free rewards. 60 SP Ultimate. Flaune the S rank. He's the only character with ultimate that costs 60 SP. Unknown English voice actor. Till this very day, we do not know who are the English voice actors who voiced the characters in Grand Chase Dimensional Chaser. Delayed updates on iOS/Android. There were many instances of delayed updates on iOS/Android due to many different reasons. One great example is when the update somehow violated Google's TOS and players couldn't enter for 3 days. Red stars. Just like the Awakening stars but red, found in game files through data mining. They serve no purpose till this very day. Rank C. When you were starting a new account, during tutorials, you were shown how monster card summoning works, and the animation of such summoning appeared where monster card was shown as C rank hero. Pre-2019 QOL. The old UI, the request system, the premium summons as rewards, and the complete absence of energy, and more. Caravan and Jean's classes were swapped. In the interview with the old development team, it was stated that Jean originally used to be an assault, but changed to tank, and Caravan was intentionally a tank, but changed to assault. Hackers in ranking. Most of the highest scores in multiple modes are belong to hackers. Can't tell if the numbers are extremely enormous. Tier 6. Lear Bitskin copyright lawsuit. Lear's old cut-in used to look like this until Cygames put a lawsuit on COD for copying a pose of their characters. Impossible Crest Mission. There are some quest missions which require you to play on raids. Those raids in World 1 till 7. Starting from Raid 6, every currently final raid had 2 difficulties, and later was merged to just one. The thing is, Crest Mission expects you to clear those missions on normal difficulty. But when raid system was made irrelevant, the difficulty name was changed as well inside internal games data, making the Crest Mission for that raid impossible. Grand School Season 2. There used to be a story event in School Universe featuring Asin, Amy, Jean and Mari. It was about a transfer student, Asin, coming to the Grand School and problems are happening. It was called Grand School Season 1, but we never saw a Season 2, although Grand School themed avatars keep coming out. Mandragora event is rigged. Refers to the Mandragora bingo event that new players get. It is programmed so the SR will always be given out only at the last few slots, so new players won't get an SR too fast. 4th wall breaking dialogues. Many 4th wall breaking dialogues are found in game. A great example is in Purgatory 4.1, where Dio tells Sighart the rules of her little riddle the player must complete. If the player fails, then Dio and Sighart blame each other until Dio points the blame to the player, who probably skipped the dialogue. Uncapped cooldown reduction. Currently some skills have a capped cooldown, meaning you can't have lesser cooldown than capped value. But that wasn't always like that. Around March/April of 2019, basically capped cooldown got introduced, with first restrictions being put on Ronan S2. Before that, some strong players could afford being almost always under invulnerability, 100% armor penetration source. There's a one character in the entire game that can ignore all enemy armor, Shasha, a rank ranger. She can do this due to her passive. Pictures from Grand Chase Dimensional Chaser at Nintendo Direct. There were two instances of Grand Chase Dimensional Chaser appearing in Nintendo Direct games. One with Lear in the promotional advertisement/banner, and the other with Alice's Limit Break, but it was some kind of a card game. Io is a reference to the GC pet, basically Gwen. Scrapped World 6 NPC. A bounty hunter named Sanders was found in game files and was supposed to appear in World 6, but never did. Grand Chase X L-Sword Manhawa. A crossover between Grand Chase and L-Sword was already done in the L-Sword Manhawa, where Alice went to other dimensions in order to find Ronan, Lass, Lear and Army and get help from them. Characters with 2 SP skills. Sharon and Sage both have 2 SP skills. Postponed Grand Chase X L-Sword. Shortly after the release of Grand Chase Dimensional Chaser, a meeting was held and it was called the Red Knight Meeting. Over there, Cog told about the possible crossover between Grand Chase and L-Sword, but KR forced Cog to postpone the idea. Game's story is influenced by the Bible. 12 Disciples is a direct reference to Jesus' 12 disciples. Playable characters who never appeared in the main story. Olivia, Sachi and Captain Boar never show appearance in the main story of Grand Chase Dimensional Chaser. Sachi appears in Healer Daily Defense, but that's it. And that would be it for today, fellow chasers. It was quite a long video, took me a long time making and editing this, and I really hope you enjoy and learned a bunch of new stuff from this. And until next time, fellow chasers, long live the chase.